Hello, good morning and welcome to Business. Government is collaborating with the United Nations Capital Development Fund, UNCDF, to explore best ways of accelerating moves to ensure a cashless economy. This was made known at the launch of the executive document on the state of digital payments in Ghana. Deputy Finance Minister Charles Edubuahin called on captains of industry to embrace this new policy of a cashless system. Here's more in this report.
All business transactions in the country are expected to be digitized within the coming months. That's according to the Deputy Finance Minister Charles Edubuahin, who has revealed plans by the Finance Ministry to liaise with development partners like the United Nations Capital Development Fund to fast-track government resolve to ensuring a cashless economy.
The development of a digital financial services system in Ghana has been premised on the following key objectives: to prevent and/or contain risk in payment, clearing, and settlement systems, to establish a robust oversight and regulatory regime for the payment and settlement systems, to bring efficiency to fiscal operations of the Ghana government, to deepen financial intermediation, to discourage the use of cash for transactions whilst encouraging the use of paper-based instruments for payments as part of the short-term development plan, to promote financial inclusion without risking the safety and soundness of the banking system, and to develop an integrated electronic payment infrastructure that will enhance interoperability of payments and securities infrastructure. Mr. Chairman, in 2014, the government of Ghana joined the Better Than Cash Alliance and committed itself to a program of transiting from cash to digital payments. For Ghana, the transition to electronic payments will bolster the effectiveness of fiscal operations through efficient receipts and payments and security of government transactions.
Meanwhile, a survey by the Better Than Cash Alliance, a global partnership of governments that accelerates the transition from cash to digital payment, has commended government for its resolve to ensure a cashless economy. Dr. Ruth Godwin-Groen is the managing director of Better Than Cash Alliance.
Change isn't easy, as we all know. It takes commitment because it's not going to happen overnight, as many of our members know. And so my message to you is to continue the great work that you've begun, as we've seen from this baseline study. You've got real momentum going at the government level, but also through these terrific group of people here who are all committed to building an inclusive digital financial ecosystem. So congratulations and keep up the great work. We're going to be working together today to see what actions need to be taken to continue that work. There will be continued rapid innovation in digital payments. It's not slowing down. We at the Better Than Cash Alliance have members globally, and we document the changes that are happening, as many of the case studies that you've read, and for example, the research that has been done today. Incredible changes that are not slowing down, because digital payments have the potential to create an inclusive economy.
Survey is urging governments to prioritize 4 key areas of business transactions in the country, which includes the payment of fees and fines to government, utility, retail sector, among others.
The Ghana Civil Aviation Authority has put on hold plans to compel airlines to pay compensation to passengers who are denied boarding their already booked flights for various reasons. The directive, if implemented, would have seen payment of some compensations by domestic, regional and international airlines to affected passengers as a result of overbooking or for some other reasons. Following a stakeholder consultation on the proposed directive, the time for the implementation has now been suspended indefinitely.
The stakeholder engagement was to ensure full participation of industry players before going ahead to conclude a proposal for the payment of compensations as a result of flight cancellations or overbooking. However, airline operators had concerns with the stipulated amounts to be paid. The Ghana Civil Aviation Authority has therefore rescheduled the implementing date from October to an unspecified time.
There are compensations for cancellation of flights, for denied boarding, for major delays in flight takeoff and so on. And it's not uniform. We have different provisions for domestic operations and for international operations. We've made some proposals, and during our interaction with the public, other alternatives came up, and we are reviewing all this, and finally we'll come up with actual figures, and whether it will be in percentage or in dollar amount and so on. It's difficult to mention specific figures now.
The draft proposal, if implemented, would have seen compensations of $100, $300 and $600 paid by domestic, regional and international flights respectively to passengers when denied boarding for the various categorized reasons. However, speaking to Joy Business, some airline operators say the charges will not augur well for business.
If a situation like you've cancelled a flight due to a technical fault that you could not reasonably foresee, and you have about 200 passengers on your hand, and you've got to pay each passenger that amount of money, that would be very overburdening for the carriers, who would also incur some costs that would not be openly or overtly seen by the customers, also arising from that same cancellation. So we look for an opportunity to engage further and to renegotiate it downwards.
For passengers, though, the initiative was long overdue. Apiakusi Adumako is the coordinator for CATS Ghana, a consumer rights organization.
The Ghana Civil Aviation Authority has done well for implementing these international best practices in Ghana. For many years, when a passenger is denied boarding or a flight is cancelled, there is no remedial action for the passenger. With this directive coming to effect, consumers will be satisfied, and it's also going to raise the bar of performance higher on the airlines to be able to work hard, as they will be asked to cough money to pay the consumers for not meeting the set standard.
Finalization of the draft directive has become imperative following the ratification of the Montreal Convention in 2015 by Parliament.
And that's all in business for the morning. I'll come your way again with more business updates at midday. My name is Emmanuel Apuachi. We are